Welcome to RichTrybe. Today, we are going to unlock one of the most powerful concepts in all of finance. Seriously, it's a principle that has probably created more millionaires than almost anything else, and that is compound interest.
You know, legendary investors live by this rule. Just think about someone like Warren Buffett. Most of his wealth, the vast majority, was made after he turned 50. And it wasn't because of some genius prediction, it was because he just consistently invested for decades and let time do all the heavy lifting for him.
Okay, hold on. I've heard that term, compound interest, thrown around a lot, but I've always just assumed it's, the interest I get from my bank account. Is there actually more to it than that?
That is the perfect question because they are worlds apart. Think about it like this. Simple interest is like a fixed salary. You get paid the same amount, always based on your initial work. But compound interest, that's like getting your salary plus a commission on all your previous earnings. And that commission just gets bigger every single year.
Right, so the crucial point here is that your money doesn't just grow, it actually multiplies. It's kind of like planting a tree. At first it's just a tiny little sapling, but over time it grows, it sprouts new branches, and then those branches sprout their own branches. That's your money, growing on itself exponentially. I'm still having a little trouble picturing it. Can you just walk me through step by step how my money would actually grow in that way?
Absolutely. And you're right, it does start out small. And the whole process is deceptively simple. First, you invest. Then it earns a return. That earning gets added right back into the pot and the whole cycle just repeats. But see, each time it repeats, the calculation is on a slightly bigger amount. That simple loop is the engine that turns small, consistent investments into life-changing wealth.
Okay, now look at this slide, because this is where it gets really interesting. See that acceleration? It takes a full 10 years to make that first $1,600. But then look at the final 10 years. From year 20 to 30, it grows by over $10,000. That's where you really see the magic happen. The longer you let your money work, the harder it works for you.
And this chart, this just illustrates the payoff perfectly. Imagine you put in just $200 a month for 30 years. Okay, so you've put in $72,000 of your own hard-earned cash. But your account could be worth close to $300,000. Your own money is just a fraction of the total. The rest, that is pure growth, your reward for being patient and disciplined.
That is absolutely incredible. So now that we kind of get the what and the how, let's really dive into the key ingredients. What do you need to make this work for you? The single most important ingredient, bar none, is time. Every single day you wait is a day you're not putting this incredible power to work. You know that old saying? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. It's literally true for investing.
Next up is consistency. You've got to keep adding fuel to the fire. Every new contribution you make, no matter how small it feels, builds on the momentum of everything that came before it. It just keeps accelerating your progress.
And finally, this one is crucial. You must reinvest your earnings. Taking profits or dividends out, well, it's like pulling up a plant every few weeks to check if the roots are growing. You're just interrupting the very process you're trying to encourage.
Okay, you've mentioned doubling cycles a couple of times now. That sounds really powerful, but it also sounds kind of complicated to calculate. Is there like a quick and dirty way to figure it out?
Oh, for sure. There's a fantastic little mental shortcut for this. It's called the Rule of 72. All you do is divide the number 72 by your expected annual return. So let's say you think you're going to get an 8% return. Well, 72 divided by 8 is 9. It'll take about 9 years for your money to double. It's a super simple, back-of-the-napkin calculation that helps you set realistic expectations.
All right, I'm sold. This concept is amazing. Now, how do I actually put this into action? Like, what are the best places to make compounding work, and what are the big pitfalls I really need to avoid?
Great question. So you want to look for investments that are really built for this kind of thing. Index funds and ETFs are great. They give you diversification, costs are low. Dividend-paying stocks are fantastic because they're constantly giving you cash that you can plow right back in. And of course, retirement accounts like a 401k or an IRA are an absolute must because those tax advantages can seriously supercharge your growth.
And as for what to avoid, well, the biggest mistakes are pretty much just the exact opposite of our key ingredients. If you really want to maximize your growth, you've got to start as early as you can. You have to stay invested for the long haul, and you need to be consistent. If you avoid those pitfalls, you're already way ahead of the game.
And before we get to our final most important point, If you want to keep compounding your own financial knowledge, hey, make sure you subscribe to the RichTrybe channel and give this a like, a comment, and a share.
So after all this talk about patience and discipline and thinking long-term, what's the ultimate payoff? What's really the light at the end of the tunnel here?
The payoff is freedom. It's really that simple. It's about getting to the point where your money is working so hard for you that you don't have to work anymore. It's the freedom to choose how you spend your time, whether that means traveling the world, starting a passion project, or just spending way more time with the people you love.
Look, the path to financial freedom is paved with patience and discipline. It's not always easy, but the math behind it is incredibly simple. So the real question isn't whether or not this works, it's whether you're ready to take that first step today and let time become your single greatest ally.